versus 5. We will finish it maybe in this week with big surprise. And then let's see the result about this fight and the result of the big fight, 21 of December, Usyk Tyson.
Okay, so you got a lot of big plans.
He's another level. This is a really dangerous. He ain't fighting a granddad. He isn't fighting a grandfather. It's absolute lunacy. It's insane.
AJ fighting Jake Paul, if I'm honest. It's definitely a fight that we are talking about. It's definitely a fight that is fairly...
Like I say, I hope Jake Paul is mad enough and he picks Anthony Joshua, you know, because I don't think he's that mental.
Breaking news. It's official. Turki Alalshikh has confirmed Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul after Jake's fight with Gervonta Davis was cancelled due to allegations against Davis. Now Anthony Joshua steps in, and fans are buzzing, expecting nothing less than a dominant heavyweight demolition. Duke McKenzie didn't sugarcoat anything. He called this matchup dangerous, saying Joshua is an 18-stone, fully trained athlete, while Jake Paul hasn't beaten a single top heavyweight to earn the shot. To McKenzie, this isn't competitive, it's risky, lopsided, and unsafe.
I believe to fight Anthony Joshua. It's not like he's beaten, 4 or 5, top line heavyweights, other heavyweights. I don't believe he's boxed any heavyweights.
Eddie Hearn took it even further. He warned that Joshua fighting Jake Paul is extremely dangerous, not for Anthony Joshua, but for Jake. Hearn said Joshua will take his head clean off his shoulders, reminding everyone that this isn't something a top 50 cruiserweight would ever face. Jake Paul is stepping into the deep end with sharks.
But I said to Jake Paul, you ain't in a box, mate, and this ain't David Blaine. I said, so just be careful, because AJ will take your head clean off your shoulders, and it's dangerous. And you take on that responsibility, and we all have to. So we got to think about that. But this is Anthony fighting a top 50 cruiserweight in the world. It's not something that we would normally...
Tony Bellew was furious. He called the fight a gross mismatch and said Jake Paul's health is at risk. Bellew believes money is being placed above safety, and that Anthony Joshua power and experience will make this a one-sided beating. To him, this matchup is insanity.
Just a gross mismatch.
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand his health is in jeopardy. So I'm not even entertaining it. I just think it's dangerous. And listen, I might have to work it, but it's just...
It's kind of ludicrous, isn't it, really?
It's insane. This boy is nuts. He's nuts. And I think he's putting his life before he's putting his life.
Derek Chisora delivered a brutal warning. Anthony Joshua must finish Jake Paul quickly, or he'll have nightmares about it forever. Chisora insists Joshua has the tools to end the fight inside 3 rounds. In his eyes, Jake Paul is nowhere near Anthony Joshua world.
I will say this, AJ. Don't let that guy knock you out, because that'll be fucking nightmares forever. But 1 or 2, put it this way, AJ has to kill him.
Spencer Oliver sees it differently. He believes Anthony Joshua views this as easy money. Fans may dislike it, but Joshua is focused on prize fighting, not pleasing critics. At this stage of his career, Anthony Joshua is taking strategic, profitable fights, and Jake Paul is just that.
Anthony Joshua is talking about wanting warm-up fights before going into bigger fights, but look, it's prize fighting at the end of the day, and the way that Joshua will see it, and Matchroom and all the team, the fans won't like this, by the way.
I don't like it
No,
either.
I don't like it either. But the way that Joshua will see it is as a money grab. He'll see it as an easy money grab, but at this stage of his career, is it a fight he should be taking?
Johnny Nelson agreed. He said if he were in Joshua's shoes, he'd take the fight too, because the payday is huge. He admits the matchup isn't serious competitively, but respects Jake Paul's hustle and hype building. Joshua gets the money, the spotlight, and an easy night's work.
At this stage of his career, I take Jake Paul. I take Jake Paul because there's more money there. If it was real, I don't think it's real. I think it's bullshit. I think Jake Paul I think it's bullshit. I think it's Jake.
Tyson Fury added pure chaos. He boldly claimed Jake Paul could knock out Anthony Joshua and called Anthony Joshua a spent force. Fury says Jake is improving and looks strong at heavyweight. But the reality remains, Joshua has survived wars against elite heavyweights, And Jake has never faced anyone close to Anthony Joshua level. Fury's words add drama, but the danger is on Jake.
Tune up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why so? What impresses you about Jake Paul?
I just think Jake Paul would knock AJ out. I think AJ's the spend force, and I think Jake Paul's on the rise. And I like his new heavyweight look.
Simon Jordan didn't hold back. He wants to see Anthony Joshua knock Jake Paul out cleanly, joking that Joshua might send him into the next film. He admits the fight isn't meaningful for Anthony Joshua, who should be focusing on names like Tyson Fury. But entertainment sells, and Jake Paul brings the hype that keeps fans arguing.
Him knock Jake Paul into the next film, but in the reality of what I think it's worth, no. I am moderately interested in seeing him fight Tyson Fury, because I think it's the only box.
Tommy Fury was ruthless. He said Anthony Joshua would destroy Jake Paul under any circumstance, even joking Anthony Joshua could beat him in under a minute with ease. Tommy has already exposed Jake once, and knows Anthony Joshua is levels above anything Jake has ever faced. This fight looks completely one-sided.
Beat Jake Paul. And excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go.
Derek Chisora returned with a chilling prediction. He says Jake Paul simply doesn't have the power to hurt Joshua, but Anthony Joshua definitely has the power to send Jake to the hospital. If anything goes wrong, Chisora believes Jake could end up in an ambulance. Joshua's strength and experience make this a mismatch from the opening bell.
Whatever happened to be exciting?
Does he have the power to knock out Joshua?
Nah, he hasn't got the power to knock out Joshua.
How does that fight end?
Jake Paul going to an ambulance, bro.
Jake Paul, meanwhile, claims he loves the challenge. He says people want to see him lose, and he's ready to face Anthony Joshua. But confidence won't protect him from Anthony Joshua power. Jake brings hype, but Joshua brings weapons, experience, and world-class technique. This may be Jake's biggest spectacle, but it could also be his biggest reality check.
I like the challenge. People, that's the criticism. Fight someone in their prime who's a beast. I think people just want to see me lose. That's really what the message is behind it all. And Anthony Joshua is an insane fight, but I want that challenge. We've been DMing back and forth. He wants to make.
Even Logan Paul couldn't hold back. He said the idea is insane because Anthony Joshua is a world-class heavyweight. He reminded fans how Joshua knocked out Francis Ngannou, a man who had never been dropped. Compared to Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul is still a novice. Logan knows the power difference is massive.
Is that a real conversation?
Jake's a fucking lunatic, and it's probably real. I saw Joshua knock out Francis Ngannou, and the guy was like out cold for 5 minutes. And this is a guy who had never been knocked down, let alone knocked out.
If he steps in the ring with him, and actually a bell rings and there are punches thrown, every bit of Jake Paul is not a real boxer conversation is gone forever.
Spencer Oliver summed up the business side. Joshua might treat this fight as a warm-up, an easy payday that keeps him active. Fans may hate it, but at this stage, Anthony Joshua wants big money and big moments. Jake Paul simply offers both. If Jake Paul somehow pulls off the upset, it would be one of the biggest shocks in boxing history.
Anthony Joshua is talking about wanting warm-up fights before going into bigger fights, but look, it's prize fighting at the end of the day, and the way that Joshua will see it, and Matchroom and all the team, the fans won't like this, by the way.
I don't like it.
No, I don't like it either. But the way that Joshua will see it is as a money grab. He'll see it as an easy money grab, but at this stage of his career, is it a fight he should be taking?
Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul are finalizing a deal for a heavyweight fight on Netflix in December in Miami, sources tell The Ring's Mike Coppinger. Paul steps up to fight former heavyweight champion after his exhibition.
But to beat Anthony Joshua, he'd need a near-perfect performance, and even that might not be enough. Joshua is stronger, hungrier, and more disciplined. He wants this fight to prove dominance, and everyone knows it. Now it's your turn. Are you backing Anthony Joshua? Or do you think Jake Paul can pull off the impossible? Drop your predictions below. This fight might rewrite history or remind the world why heavyweights are built different.